Hello everyone, it's Fraser298 back again to give you another video, and this time I'm going to be talking about Drifters Episode 1. I know I'm a little bit late when making this video, but you know what, better out than ever, I always say, I suppose. So anyways, Drifters Episode 1 consists of basically... It's really difficult because the plot to this, you don't actually know what's happening at all in the first episode. But I'll recap what happens in the first episode, and then I'll give you my thoughts and opinions about it as I normally do, I suppose. Anyway, so Drifters Episode 1 starts off with this great battle that's happening, and we get actually introduced to our main protagonist, Toyohisa Shimazu, who is somewhat of a very... I don't want to... He's a great warrior, don't get me wrong. He can definitely hold his own, but very, not the brightest of the bunch. Very much so, I'm gonna go get his head, even if it means I'll get impaled by, like, 10 different spikes, and I'll be bleeding out my organs, but I'm still gonna go get his head. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. He goes... Okay, so he's with his uncle, and they're in an opposition, and they're facing... Sorry, they're, one army, and they're facing against another army, and, They go to leave, and Shimazu, the main guy, he stays behind to basically says to his uncle, I'm gonna stay here and get that guy's head. I'll meet you in the place we promised to meet. And the uncle's like, you better not die, kind of thing, like, I'm commanding you not to die. It's like, don't worry, uncle, I won't let you down. To which Shimazu basically jumps up and goes to go in for the kill, but then he gets impaled by spikes, but then he brings out his little rifle and shoots the guy, which mortally wounds him. And now if you realize that, yes, he wounded one of the generals, but the army, like, surrounding them could have basically killed him, but he stands up like, ugh. Like a generic anime, just pissed off face. I got impaled, but I'm still gonna stand up and fight, kind of thing. And one of the guys notices that in the army, and he's like, okay, we're gonna retreat right now because our commander is down, and that guy looks scary as hell. Even though we have sheer numbers and we could probably take him out, we're gonna go leave anyways. Bye. So Shimazu is basically all left alone. He's walking down the forest, and he's gonna go meet up with his uncle in the place that he promised. But then all of a sudden, he's transported into like this white room. Can't really describe what it is. You could either think of it as like an afterlife or a gate to a different dimension. But anyways, he walks up. There's a desk right there. The guy's reading the newspaper about the battle that was there, and he goes, who are you? To which the guy Shimazu pulls out the sword, and the guy just looks at him and he's like, I don't know who you are, and bye. And that's it. He gets transported to a different dimension through like a stone wall. It's a stone entryway, and he just gets sucked into it, to which he gets into another world, which I assume it's another world, because then we get introduced to these two elf-looking creatures that drag him and call him a drifter. Now, the way that they were speaking, it's definitely Japanese. I want to say it's Japanese. The subtitles were in English, but I want to say it's Japanese, because there wasn't Japanese subtitles over the English ones that I can assume. I'm thinking, I don't know, but they definitely spoke differently than what a normal Japanese individual would speak in like an anime, right? So they call him a drifter, and they drag him to like this castle, to which we get introduced to another, what I can assume to be another protagonist in the series, whose name is Naosu Yoichi, who is also another great warrior from the great land of the rising sun, as she points out, calling Shimazu. And he or she, okay, I want to say it's a dude, but it looks like and sounds like a female. But I want to say it's a dude. I'm pretty sure it's a dude. I can't really confirm this. I haven't really checked, but I want to say it's a dude. So anyways, he grabs Shimazu, and there's a voice in the pillar, in the stone pillar, and he's like, who is he? It's like, oh, he's from the Rising Sun, some sort of clan I've never seen before. It's like, okay, we'll take him in and, stitch him up. And lo and behold, who else do you think is going to be in the show that is also another great leader that used to be a great leader in Japan, that was, idolized through video games, and different animes were made about? Yeah, it's Nobunaga, basically. Not like we've not seen him before in a bunch of other things. But yeah, Nobunaga is also... Oda Nobunaga is also in the show. He's also a great leader. And he talks to Shimazu, to which Shimazu says, impossible, you died 18 years ago. And, you know, they catch up on Japanese affairs that has happened. It's like, well, this guy took over this land and we went into civil war. Now we're fighting districts and blah, blah, blah. And then Yoichi is also there and he's like, my war happened 400 years ago. So, like, obviously he's the oldest warrior out of those, but Nobunaga is the more not necessarily respected. Well, yes, he is respected, but he's also the most well-known warrior in all of Japan, if I do have to say so myself, because of his legacy that he brought upon himself. So anyways, they described that they also were sucked into it, and they're just there. And then we get introduced to what I can only assume is the villain at the end, and my boy Kohta Hirano, who made the series, in case you didn't know that. His character designs definitely represent in this show, because definitely the main villain looks like a bunch of familiar things. Like, they all look very similar to Hellsing, is what I'm trying to say. The art style is the same. So anyways, yeah, back to the fact that we get introduced to, like, this main villain and his army, which looks really cool, by the way, if they have to fight the army. Now, I don't know, from the episode alone, I don't know the reason why they were sent there. Who are they well, obviously I know who they're going to probably be fighting, because they're all warriors. It makes sense that they're going to have to fight. But what is the objective here? Why is this guy a villain, other than the fact that he just looks villainous? I don't quite understand that. Maybe we'll get some more clarifications in episode 2, is what I'm hoping for. Other than that, though, it's a really good first episode. Like, it's action-packed. There's comedy to it, which when I saw the tag that it was a comedy series, I was confused, because I was like, that's weird. Unless they're gonna do the type of comedy that they did in Hellsing. It's the type of comedy that they did in Hellsing Ultimate, basically, where it's just like out of nowhere random responses from each other. But other than that, though, it's pretty entertaining. It's really entertaining to watch. If you do want to watch it, it is on Crunchyroll, where you can watch it legally, or you could probably just Google search it and find an illegal streaming site, as you people normally do, or whatever. I'm not judging. I don't really care, as long as you watch the show, which is pretty good. And yes, I will be talking about more episodes of this show. It is something that I'll be planning on making more videos for. I might bring them out late, but there will be videos for those anyways. I've been your host, Frazier2198. Click here to click on the previous video to go check on that, or click here to see a surprise video that maybe you've never seen on my channel before, or maybe on my second channel either. Either way, it'll be both entertaining videos for you to watch. And if you want to follow me on social media, I do have a Snapchat. That's probably the only other place you can find me, other than my MAL, which is in the link in the description below. You can go check out my anime list, and if you have an account as well, we can communicate there as well. Also, leave a comment down below what you thought about Drifters Episode 1. Give this video a like if you like what I was talking about. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.